this is Pathfinder. We're going to go over how to use it and why it's important to map certain things certain ways. So for example, right now, just look, so the way that we've got this laid out intentionally is sort of in the vein of how it's laid out in Dotland. I'll actually show you that right here. So in Dotland, this region, drop a straight marker here, this region is laid out kind of like this. You can see there's like this box here, and it points an arrow towards this other constellation. It runs up this way. It's kind of set up this way. Here's that box, right? Here's the arrow pointing this way. Here's the other constellation. And the area is kind of laid out like this. So you should be able to get your bearings very easily if you use Dotland a lot. Using Pathfinder should also be easy. So we see, okay, there's a connection here in S9. I want to use this connection. I want to map the rest of this and see where else this C5 wormhole can take us. So I go into S9 and I drop my probes, and here's the first problem. Looking at Dotland, there's no way to tell which connection this is to the C5. I can't tell, right? Looking in game, I see this one, which could be it. It could be a completely different connection though, but we'll work to it and see if it's accurate. And if it is, we will rename it a bit. Okay, so here it is. There is a wormhole here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my probe scanner here, Control A, Control C. That's all I did, just Control A, Control C. You can see it selected both signatures. Then I'm going to come over to Pathfinder and just click anywhere in this blank space down here. As long as I have STAC9 selected, just Control V to paste. And actually I'm going to enable this lazy delete here and do it again. Control V to paste. It's going to delete old signatures and add new ones. Now we know that YDJ is a wormhole because we just worked to it. And the next thing it's going to ask us, once we identify it as a wormhole, once it figures its life out, is what type of wormhole it is. Now you guys probably didn't see it, but I did. It's an N944. You just click on this here, and in select items window it says wormhole N432. Sorry, and not N944, N432. And Pathfinder wants to know that information, N432, and it knows that that goes to a C5. And when I jump through this wormhole, Pathfinder is actually going to track me. It's going to either put me in this system or it's going to make a new connection. So it confirms that's the connection there. So I can actually do this here. And there we go. So we've mapped one side of this wormhole. Okay. Quickest way to scan the wormhole you just came in on is to use this button right here on the probe scanner. Center current formation on your ship. Do that. You drop the distance all the way down. And you probe. The probes will disappear because they're all going off. This one actually is not going to move because it's centered on our position. And we will get a result for the wormhole we came in on. Again, we're going over to Pathfinder, paste that here, and we know this one is probably K162 from this side, right? Yeah, so one side of every wormhole is K162, the other side is something actually identifiable. So there's K162, and we know it goes to S9. Perfect, we have now mapped this connection here, and if I refresh Pathfinder, it should show us. There we go. Okay, cool. So you can see the green arrow. This indicates, yep, everything is happy and mapped. Perfect. Okay. So the only thing not mapped well right now are the bookmarks in our internal folder. So this is RGX, is the first three of the signature. It goes to STAC9 RCJ. That's it. That's all that the signature needs to say. And then we're going to fix the identifier on this side as well. So this is YDJ. That part's correct. but C5 wormhole is what you have to mark it before you jump through and know what it is. But once you know what it is J1. Actually, that should have a dash. Just to be clear. A dash or an arrow works well. And now we're actually going to go back into this wormhole and scan the other signatures in there. Alright, so we already had gotten the wormhole that we came in on. Let's do the rest. And while we're doing this, we're just orbiting the wormhole at 30 kilometers with our cloak. Now you'll notice I'm not actually bookmarking any of these locations. The only thing that I'm going to bookmark remotely is the gas site. You need to actually be on grid with wormholes to bookmark them properly. So we're selecting all these. Again, going back over to Pathfinder, we want to make sure we have the wormhole system that we're in selected, J125. Down here, this information will change so that we're looking at the right thing. Here's all our unknown signatures, and again, just paste. And now it's 100% scanned. We're going to go find out where these two wormholes go, and we're going to bookmark them as well. So here it is. Looking at the info, leads into unknown parts of space. Beginning decay won't last another day. No stability, larger. Okay, so we can bookmark this. We know it is KZN. And it goes to unknown UK, right? Yeah, that's fine. We're going to change that once we are done here. So we're not going to leave it as UK because that's useless. Here's the other one, again showing info, dangerous unknown. Okay, and everything else is fine. So again, we're going to bookmark this, and it is XHQ, dangerous unknown. I'm very open to suggestions to change UK and DUK, but to be honest, we are literally going to change them in just a moment. So we're warping back to one of the bookmarks for a wormhole that we have not gone into yet. We're going to jump into it, and we're going to watch Pathfinder map it for us. There we go. Okay, it's created. And you'll also notice that the connection is bad, right? We don't know anything about either side of this connection, but we're going to fix that right now. So, on the other side of the wormhole, we should have done this first, but that's okay. On the other side of the wormhole, this was KZN, it was K162. It's okay if you don't remember that. And then now we know, right, after we jump through it, it goes to this system. And we're also going to fix our bookmark right now. So our bookmark here, that was KZN. We can edit this location from a completely different system. It goes to J123850. And now this one, we're going to bookmark as well. Again, putting out probes, center them on our position. Drag in that scan angle and scan, and we will know the information on this side of the hole. We can also make note that it is N062, that's the wormhole type. And looking back at Pathfinder, we're in this system now. We can paste our data. Waiting for it to finish. There we go. This is N062, it goes to a C5, that is correct, and it goes to that C5 in particular. There we go. We've now mapped a second one, and if I refresh Pathfinder, it will show us that that connection is green. Green arrow, we know the size, right? It says large. The reason we know the size, we don't have to put that in manually, is because we put in the signatures on both sides, and N062, it knows that that's a large wormhole, and it connects the C2 to the C5. There you go. So that is two proper connections, and the last thing we need to do to finish off correctly bookmarking this in-game is IPF. This goes to J5101. I'm just looking over at Pathfinder. to see that that's where we just came from, or to see where that connection actually leads to. So the thing that we need to fix in here is this SHQ to dangerous unknown, right? That's useless. DUK is useless. We're gonna go fix that. You'll notice though that both of these are really easy to read and interpret now. I know exactly where to go if I want to warp to one of these locations. I know that this one goes to S9, I know that this one goes to another J-space wormhole, and I can look at Pathfinder to get that information. Okay, once again, we are going to jump this wormhole. We're going to bring up Pathfinder so we can watch the magic happen. New connection should spawn off of this wormhole here. Here we go, and there it is. Perfect. Now, again, I failed to properly mark this as we went through, so let's fix that. I think this was K162. We can determine that. No, it's not. Okay. That's alright. We do know where it goes, though. To here. We'll fix the type when we go back through in a moment. But again, we're in here. We can see... Whoa! Ho-ho! This is someone's crab wormhole in here. Right. Let's just reapproach our hole. And we're going to drop probes, center, scan. So I want to get out of here quickly. There's a ton of stuff on scan. This would be really cool to try and catch, though. Okay, so we've got that. We're in our new wormhole. Make sure that it's selected properly. Paste the info. Again, this is the K162 side. And it goes to that connection, as we know. The only thing we need to do now to finish the proper bookmarking is exit. And it goes to J 5101. Okay, we can get the heck out of here. And looking back at Pathfinder, a quick refresh will show us that we are good noodles, and we did map this correctly. Oh, crap. No. We need to go back. We need to actually go back on grid with the wormhole to see what type it was. I forgot to make note of that. H296. There you go. So S9, we have this connection. It has those two connections. So everything is mapped properly. We know the SIGs, we know the sizes, we know the lifetimes, we know how much mass can go through all of those, and everything is bookmarked properly as well. Hooray, success. Okay.